Hey listeners, welcome to Chai After Dark. It's 2 in the morning, and I've just been thinking about this text message that Shubnam sent me. I just really want to reply to it right now. So you know.
Oh my gosh.
How's that?
What is with that voice message? It's so weird.
Why is he breathing like that?
Because I think he's afraid of her, and I think that she doesn't meet with him at all, so all he can do is voice message her.
Hey listeners, welcome to Chai After Dark. This is Sameem and Shubnam. And I don't know what Shubnam's gotten me into, but I know more about Blake Lively than I've ever wanted to know in my past. Ever. Let's be real.
My name's Blake.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Blake?
What?
I don't know what we're about to discuss today, but I'm actually pretty excited. This is some trashy shit.
I take it you've never been a fan of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants or Gossip Girl?
No, I don't think I've ever seen either of those. My favorite thing with Blake Lively is Accepted. It's a movie called Accepted with Justin Long. It's like a stupid college comedy, but she's pretty good in it.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
It's from like 2007 or something.
Well, apparently she's a total nightmare in her interviews. And her co-star, Leighton Meester in Gossip Girl, was actually born in jail. Her parents were both in jail, and her mom was, I think, on a type of a furlough, and she gave birth to her outside of jail on the furlough and was able to stay with her for a couple months. And then during an interview, Blake Lively casually throws out, yeah, she started in a cage. And it's like, okay, bitch. Yeah.
She's weird. I mean, everybody that we're going to discuss today is a little bit weird in our new spill episode for our listeners, but I think I'm going to just talk like this.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I love famous people.
I love famous people. Blake and Brian and Taylor. You guys are just so incredible. My God, how do you even have such wonderful dragons by your side? What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Like, I understand what's wrong with him. He's trying to protect his entire image and career by buttering her up. But come on, man. Come on. Like, don't leave voice notes like this.
That must have felt terrible. And I will for sure do better. That was not my best weekend. And I should have given it more time. And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that. And we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they're two of the most creative people on the planet. The three of you guys together is unbelievable. Talk about energy and just a force, all three of you. But I just wanted you to know that I didn't need that because it's really good and it's going to make the movie sing like you said, and I'm excited to go through the whole movie with you. I'm just excited to spend time with you.
Yeah, it's weird. He sounds like a tool. But I will say, with the dragons reference, Blake Lively telling him kind of like, I don't know, do you think this is a threat? Let me read you this text message. She says, if you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi. And like her, I happen to have a few dragons, for better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too, I can promise you. Like,
what is she
who
talking
talks
about?
Like this? She's like a megalomaniac.
Taylor Swift has never written a script to my knowledge. So what? Justin Baldoni is not going on tour. And Baldoni. He's not going to be in Deadpool. I don't care. I don't care about his name. I'm sorry. He seems
Rahul Baldoni.
Off. Yeah. Hey, I don't know about dragons. The only dragons I know about are Danny the Dragon from Happy Hollow Park and Zoo, where I took my daughter every week for about 7 years. But Khaleesi and dragons, how do you make that reference? How do you even take yourself seriously if you're going to refer to yourself in a fantasy land? Like, what are you talking about? It's not real.
And she literally burns down the whole town in a rage at the end. Spoiler alert if you've never seen Game of Thrones, but at this point you should have, or you're never going to. And then her lover kills her. So, God, I that's not the reference you'd think she'd want to make.
Nothing about Blake Lively or I don't know about Ryan Reynolds, but what are they doing with their life? Honestly, like I'm going to be extremely negative today. I've been very positive the last few weeks, but what are their lives? Like, what are they doing?
Mint.com.
I don't get it. She definitely didn't write It Ends With Us. She didn't write the book. She did not read the book, from what I can tell. Maybe she read it now. She didn't read it prior. It's pretty obvious.
It seems like what they try to do is this, like they use their star power to come onto set of a movie and kind of take it over and project their image and, you know, their vision onto it, regardless of whether someone else has already developed the project or not. So that's pretty
care
shitty.
about movie releases anymore? Like a big Hollywood release? It gets like a little bit of press. Barbie was much bigger than all of this. I didn't even know about this movie until I heard all this drama.
Yeah. No, I know. I feel like this drama has given the movie more popularity than it otherwise would have had, for sure. Because it kind of sucks.
Well, it did do $350 million at the box office. I'm looking it up right now.
I think that's because of this drama. Like the only reason I watched it was because of this drama. Like I wouldn't have
thought
watched
the drama
it
started in like December 2024. And the movie came out last year and it grossed $351 million. It was released in the United States of America on August 9th, 2024. The budget was only $25 million. So this movie killed it.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't even know about this movie. Mm-hmm. Like I saw that Hassan Minhaj was in this movie in like a trailer and I was totally uninterested in it until this drama started. And then I just watched it last weekend. Because I was like,
yeah, I don't see Hassan Minhaj being a draw. I watched 2/3 of this movie. I turned it off to record this podcast with you because I just couldn't take it anymore. I will say that Justin's character in the movie is his exact voice and character in that voice note. So maybe he should have thought about not being the same actor that he's acting in also the voice notes where you're supposed to be like a abusive kind of, you know, megalomaniac kind of person. It's kind of crazy why he would just keep doing the same thing, especially if you're going to record it. You sound insane. You sound like an actor.
So you're not team Justin then? Or you're not team either?
I don't think I'm team any of these people. What do you think? Like,
I mean, if I had to choose, I'd choose Justin. I think he's less crazy than Taylor. But do I think that if he had as much power and wealth, Blake. Yeah. Do I think that if he had as much power and wealth as Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, that he'd just be as crazy as them? Yeah, probably. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Let's do this. Yeah. You guys have heard my take and what my voice sounds like when I'm trying to be sexy and brooding, or I don't know if he was trying to be sexy, but he sounded sexy, I will say, but I don't think it was the right tone for sending that to Blake Lively. He sounds like Joe from You. And that's not a good thing either. Because that guy's a murderer.
She dated him too, so she did. So maybe she likes that. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe that's where Joe from You got it from. Hey, why does everyone that acts with Blake Lively go play psychotic characters?
Yeah, they go play psychotic characters like this.
And I just know that this can be really, really special, and it's going to be special. And you're the secret sauce, and we're the secret sauce. And anyways, I have so much more to say. I'm going to stop rambling because, Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 a.m.
That sounds insane. Why is he talking about her boob?
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, it's like it's kind of a weird thing to say, but I was like, in what context would I think that's normal? I would think that's normal if she's like joked about it in front of him before, but then I also kind of think it's a cultural thing. I don't think like brown South Asian people would be like baby on your boob, but I feel like white people would do that.
I mean, I might say it, but it would be like a breastfeeding reference like he said it. It sounds strange. We just listened to it, but
yeah,
she was also texting him though right before that. at like 1:49 a.m. So that's him getting her text. So she might have referenced that I'm breastfeeding in the middle of the night. I don't think it was like a sexual reference. I think the worst thing that he did was when he says, "I just want to get to know all of you." Like, why? She's a married woman. You're not
No,
allowed to
because
get to know all of her.
no, but I think he means like not just the actress, but also the creative person, the producer, the whatever. Like in the context of her different skills in the workplace, I think it makes a little bit of sense.
I don't think so because she's not. She's an actress, right?
Yeah, but she was also a producer on the movie.
Was she really, or was she?
Yeah.
Forced?
I don't know if she forced herself into it, but she has a producer credit on it. And she was trying to change the lines and stuff. She was giving her input on changing the lines.
Baldoni and his Wayfarer Studios obtained the rights to adapt It Ends With Us in 2019. When Lively's involvement in the film was reported in January 2023, she was said to be in an executive producer capacity, which means she funds the film along with others.
Yeah, along with his billionaire funder for Wayfarer Studios, who seems like a guy who has some free time and money and is willing to put it into this. I mean, I think the idea behind this film was really good and honorable to raise awareness on domestic violence as an issue, but it just got lost in her shenanigans. You know, I've seen criticisms also of people saying like the clothes she chose to wear, the wardrobe was way more expensive than any kind of 23-year-old who worked at a flower shop would be able to afford, which I'm sure is true, but it looks like she comes from a rich family. So I'm not super convinced on that because it seems like they had money. And also she doesn't look 23 at all.
No.
So I don't know why they would have her in this movie. I mean, obviously it's for her star power, but she definitely doesn't look 23. I'm not saying she looks old, but she doesn't look 23. She's 37. She maybe looks 33. She does not look 23.
I don't want to be mean at all. I'm not going to comment on her looks. She's a beautiful woman. But there's a couple of scenes where she is meant to look older, potentially, but she doesn't look 23 at all. I would even go far as to say that she's not. She's the one that referred to herself as Khaleesi. She's the one that said she has dragons on the side, two of the most famous people on Earth. So whatever I say is not going to hurt her. I don't find her attractive. Like, I don't get a lot of vibes from her. And then her personality now, it's such a dud. And then
Yeah.
I think what she's trying to do is, she's overacting in the film. She's completely overacting. It's such a look at me kind of thing where she's desperate to take over the entire film as like this lost soul. But you're completely correct. Like, the movie could have done a pretty good job of talking about issues of domestic violence, especially it's not just relationship violence. It was her dad that beat up Atlas in the movie and in the book. So it could have,
And her mom.
and her mom was abused
Yeah.
as well. So I don't want to take anything away from that because it's a super important topic. But the way that the movie depicts it, it's more about her looking hot, I think, or attractive than it is actually about the movie. I don't find her compelling whatsoever. Like, I think she might even be a bad actress. Maybe that's the issue.
Yeah, and they made it so much about her banter with the guys that she likes rather than this actually really important story. I don't know, it doesn't feel like the issue was respected to the level it should have been, in my opinion.
I didn't finish the movie, so I don't know what Justin's character does, Ryle does, but I did see that he does hit her and then he semi-sexually assaults her, and then I turned it off because I don't really know where they were going with all this. I did get to the point where she goes and meets up with Atlas again, so I guess they're about to go on a date, but that's about as far as I got.
Yeah, and at first it's sort of unclear in some of these scenes what's actually happening. Like, is it an accident? Is it negligence? Is it intentional on his part? And then you see these flashbacks and it comes through later to where, oh, all these things are very much intentional. And that kind of throws me off too, because I don't know that I like that choice for a kind of movie that is portraying domestic violence. I don't know.
It seemed like it was just too much of a joke as well, because then they put Jenny Slate and Hassan Minhaj in. They have nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah.
They have nothing
And
to
also
do with the movie.
Exactly, and they are funny, and then Hassan Minhaj is wearing a onesie, and then Justin is wearing a onesie with rainbows on it. It's like, what is happening? And they never give any context to why those guys are wearing onesies. Like, are they getting free
They
drinks at
get
the
free
bar?
beer from the
What's
Bruins game,
Oh.
from the
Oh,
Boston
okay.
Bruins game. She says it in the beginning.
But why are they wearing it multiple times?
I think it was like a cute thing. Like they go to Bruins games together and then they get free beer if they wear onesies. That's what the idea is, I guess. But who cares about the onesies? It's just, you're totally correct. It doesn't make any sense in this like heavy, heavy emotional film. Like if I was watching, let's say, what's like a film with this sort of subject matter? Let's go even way far back. Monsters Ball with Halle Berry and Billy Bob Thornton. She won an Oscar. The movie's from 2001, 2002, 2003. Billy Bob Thornton's a racist. He obviously is super mean to her, treats her with a lot of disrespect, but then they end up falling in love and then they hook up throughout the movie, which is hilarious. But why would there be a random scene with two characters in onesies in that movie? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this movie was like half like Sex in the City, where they're like, oh, we're going out in New York. Haha, look how cool New York City living is. But I'm like, dude, nobody cares about this. This movie's about like domestic violence and assault. So I'm not really sure what these two funny men characters are doing in this movie.
Yeah. It was really bizarre. And people say that Ryan Reynolds is like a big part of this too, that he was kind of running the show, that maybe Blake Lively potentially had a crush on Justin, and that Ryan Reynolds got jealous, and that's why he was like coming in trying to have producer credits. And then he actually came on set with Hugh Jackman and orchestrated a like promo interview where Hugh Jackman and him are giving both the actor who plays Atlas and Justin shit for being her love interest on the show.
It's fake. What would he want?
It's her job. I don't know, but in the guise of a promo, Hugh Jackman's like, good to meet the guy that's trying to take the place of my best friend with his wife, and like some crazy shit like that. It's really
Get
weird.
over yourself. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your wife. We care about your drama, and we care about how much shit you're getting right now. Let's play another clip from Justin's voice note that he references Ryan. This is actually pretty hilarious.
I hope you're feeling better, and give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that. And I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done cutting myself.
So he says, give my love to Ryan. What are you talking about, bro? Ryan just told you to fuck off and stop trying to be my wife's love interest. And now you're coming back and you're like, give my love to your 47-year-old husband. Like, who talks like that?
47, 48-year-old husband. Yeah.
Like, you can say hi to Ryan. Why don't you just say hi to Ryan? Why do you need to say give my love to Ryan, you fucking weirdo?
Ryan doesn't want his love at all. Ryan's like, stop giving your love to my wife. Yeah.
He doesn't want him to give Blake his love either.
Ryan wants Justin to keep his love to himself.
You think they tag teamed it? I think they did. And I think that's the issue. Shoved him in cold.
I'm like, allegedly, I don't believe that.
I think they did. Also, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively look very similar in some of these pictures. They have the same fake tan. They have like almost the same height, I think. They have the same facial structures. They have the same amount of facial hair. Like, they look very similar to each other in some of these pictures that I'm looking at when all this dropped.
And they should just continue to be two peas in a pod, because it seems like Taylor Swift's not really wanting to be around her, which means they're not going to be coming to Taylor's box for the Super Bowl. Boo-hoo, wah wah. Cry me a river.
Blake Lively, you love famous people too much. I love famous people too much.
I love famous people.
Yeah, this is what happens. You need to play it cool a little bit. Like, you're already an A-list actress. Is she even an A-list actress? I can't think of anything she's been in the last 5 years.
She's been in a lot of stuff. She's been in like a Marvel movie too, I think. Right? She's done a lot of stuff. The thing with her is she's one of those women who has been an it girl, quote unquote hot girl, since she was like 17, and that's all she knows. So no one's ever humbled her, and she's never been humbled until now. So now she's got to eat that humble pie, and it doesn't taste that good.
No, I mean, if Taylor Swift dumps you, then that's a rough life. You know, like
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's never going to be our friends. But can you imagine? Can you imagine
Yeah.
being Taylor Swift's friend and then she dumps you and you're like in her
That's
suite?
a long
You're
way to
hanging out.
fall.
That's a long way to fall because who are you going to be
Yeah.
friends with now? Like there will be people that will be your friends because there's always going to be social climbers. But I don't know if Blake and Ryan are capable of having real friends.
I wonder who their friends are.
I don't know.
Hugh Jackman, apparently.
Hugh Jackman, but Hugh Jackman just cheated on his wife of 30 years, and now he's with some Broadway star, I think.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Okay, so she has been in a lot of movies the last few years. She hasn't been in a lot. And I'm also going to give her a lot of leeway because she has 4 kids. So if she wants to spend time with her kids rather than make movies while the kids are young, I completely understand that. However, It Ends With Us was released in 2024. Before that, she has not been in any movies at all since 2020. The Rhythm Section in 2020, A Simple Favor in 2018, All I See Is You 2016, Cafe Society 2016, The Shallows 2016, and then even before that, Savages 2012, and then Gossip Girl. So
can I tell you though?
Not really done that all that much, right?
She reminds me of a toxic Desi girl. Because she grew up and she became this it girl. She like got into her family business and was very successful at that career. And then she married a guy who's a little older than her, but still pretty good looking, who's even more successful at her family business. And then she had like 4 kids really young. And then now she's like in her late 30s, and now she's kind of like bored looking for drama. I feel like that's totally like a classic toxic Desi girl.
Hey, she also went so far as to date Leonardo DiCaprio before she was 25, though, of course. So yeah, she hit every. Cause a toxic Desi girl would certainly go for the it man, whether they would get married or not. She would want some sort of conversation with him. So Blake Lively certainly hit up Leonardo DiCaprio, if my internet sleuthing is correct.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember that. Yeah.
Anyways,
I don't know, man.
What do we do? Do we live life with these people as our saviors? Like, I don't understand. I understand it's like a distraction from this shitty world that we live in sometimes, but these people suck. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah,
listeners, don't hate me, please. I do this for entertainment. I can't imagine what I would get out of like being Ryan Reynolds' friend. Like, I can't even imagine being around any sort of celebrities like this. But I think some people, of course, like I would say hi. That's about it.
No, but I think this is interesting times because social media is so pervasive and so fast. I feel like the powers that be are losing control of how to manage it and how to keep their stranglehold on it. So normally people like Blake and Ryan would get their PR people to manage all this and they'd be able to manage it. But because we're in a different time, they haven't mastered this social media time frame right now, and I think that that's what we're seeing, and that's why we're seeing some more scandals and some different stuff happening. And I think it's interesting. I think we're seeing a little bit of under the hood of, famous people, which is interesting.
It was easier to hide your transgressions even with social media in the past, because social media was more so for promotion, to gain a following, promote your movie, promote your music. But now we can all go attack celebrities on social media for anything that they do. And I think that's probably why we don't hear about celebrities as much as like this big story, because even the Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt stuff, they just got divorced, but it took like almost a decade, right? So it's just people are losing interest in this shit. They want to see people burn and fail.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see people go up anymore. Does anybody even know who's getting nominated for Best Actress Oscars or anything? I think even like Demi Moore got one. But 10 years ago, that would have been a huge deal. Now nobody gives a shit, right? Like, we want to see these people burn. We want to see these people like have drama like we do, because I think ultimately it makes us feel better.
Yeah, because everybody's depressed and everyone's going through hard times.
Yeah, and if
And
Blake and Ryan can't keep, any sort of appearances and the whole world knows their business, it means they're just like us.
yeah.
Just two shitheads trying to be cool, trying to be famous.
But isn't that the moral of everything? Like everybody's just the same. People always put on a front. They try to make it look all nice and pretty. But if you scratch the surface, most people have some dirty laundry, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. We think about ourselves, we think about what impacts us, and we think about how we can get ahead, how we can get a little bit more money, more financially secure, more physically secure, whatever it might be. I understand our priority is our well being and being able to be a person that you are proud of the next day. But if it requires you to shit on people along the way, that's where you go wrong. And that's where I would
Yeah.
never have anyone's back. So we can't trust anyone in this series. It's not a
Yeah.
series, but it feels like a series. But
Saga,
like this saga, yeah, you can't
drama
trust.
saga.
Definitely can't trust Ryan Reynolds. This guy's a weirdo to the 10th degree. Like I've never seen anybody so freaking weird. Also, he's been in like 3 or 4 Deadpool movies. It's the same fucking character in every movie. He doesn't do anything
Yeah.
different anymore. So these people
Do you think he's
they all
playing
deserve
himself?
respect. He even says he plays himself, but he's like, comedy's an art, and I've crafted my art. And he's obviously super talented. Like I'm not saying that they're not talented. It's more so like, who gives a shit?
You don't love famous people?
I mean, our Instagram is Jai After Dark, right? And I think both you and I keep our Instagrams private. I just don't have that sort of drive. I don't want anyone to know what I look like. I guess people do know I live in San Diego, though, but that
And
doesn't
they
make
know
me
what you look
famous.
like. Yeah.
Do they?
They know what you look like if they want to, because it's on our Instagram.
No. It's buried now, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna start wearing a mask. Trigger all kinds of people.
Oh man.
But this world is crazy, right? Like, thank God for Blake and Ryan for giving us this distraction.
Yeah. They're doing us all a favor. They want to be entertainers. They're entertaining, man.
Hey, everybody watch A Simple Favor. That's a great movie. Blake Lively, Amy Adams, and Blake acts like a bitch in that movie as well. 2018. It's probably one of the last films she did, I think. That's actually a good film. A Simple Favor. So good for Blake.
Yeah. So you're saying don't watch It Ends With Us? It's not worth it? I don't think it's worth it.
I'm going to finish it, Chubdum, because I have 40 minutes left and I just talked all this shit on a public podcast. I feel like I should finish it. And if there's anything I need to rectify, I will.
Okay.
If we need to post a correction, listeners, I'll do it tomorrow, Friday. But happy Thursday. Wow.
Yeah. Happy Thursday. Man, maybe we close on Justin's hot voice.
I'm excited to be in your sphere and your presence, and for us to share creative juices together, although that sounds terrible. I think, and you and I have been trying to build a relationship, which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are talking like this, me into my phone at 2 a.m, but largely via text and voice note.
He's a sexy man. Let's jingle out of here. I'm getting a little bit too excited. I don't know if I hate this guy or if I'm in love with him. So I think that's probably what she's feeling as well.
On that note, dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, dun, dun. Later, y'all.